So, guys, without wasting much time, I'm just going to start immediately. So, so far we have discussed about. I don't know if you can hear me. Just give a thumbs up, just for me to know that you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me, leave a thumbs up. Okay. So, okay. So, uh, so far we have discussed mainly on the theoretical aspect of media production, and we went as far as defining media, discussing about the structures and various departments in media, discussing about the various departments in media, and amongst all that we discussed, we talked about media broadcast, which is the live recording and the live media broadcast and the recorded media broadcast. So now we are going to be talking about the live media broadcast, which is also known as live production. So one thing you must know is that whatever process or means that you use to achieve the live broadcast is also the same that you will use to achieve a recorded broadcast. The only difference there is that the live broadcast requires internet because your audience needs to be seeing it in real time as it is happening. While for the recorded broadcast, you do not necessarily need internet. It is just for you to record it for later purpose or later use. So the same gadgets are being used for both of them. The same teams, the same tools, the same crew, the same mindset are being used to achieve both of them. But the only difference is that one requires internet for it to go on air or for it to be in real time, while the other one does not require internet to be in real time, or it does not require to be in real time. So you can just record it for later purpose. So now we are going to look at live production. I will say live production is the act or process whereby media broadcast is being transmitted in real time, which means as it is happening, the audience are seeing it online. So that is what live broadcast is. And then we are going to look at some gadgets or the basic gadgets that are needed as as far as live media broadcast is concerned. So I have my screen being shared here. So just follow me on the screen. So number one, the first thing we need is the laptop. The first thing we need is the laptop. Now, these are like the basic gadgets that are needed. As a matter of fact, some of them are actually on the advanced level. So number one is the laptop, and you must make sure that your laptop is one way or the other a high-end laptop for it to be able to carry out the job. For it to be able to carry out the job. And then there are few specifications that you must look out for. Should I say the least specifications that you must look out for in a laptop if you are to use it for live broadcast? And number one is the core. You must make sure that the laptop is running at least it is a Core i5 laptop. At most, you can get Core i7, there's Core i9. So the list of it should be Core i9. Then the RAM space should be at least 8 gig of RAM. You can go as far as 16 gig and 32 gig. If your system has a dedicated graphics card, that will be a plus for you because it will actually reduce the stress for the system and then reduce your software to be lagging. So the next one is the storage space because you need to be storing so many things on your system. So you need at least 256 gig of storage on your system, and you can go as far as 512 or 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes as far as you can go. But the least of it should be 256 gig storage. Then your processor, which is very important, is like the speed at which your system responds. At which your system responds. That is the processor. And they have as low as 1 gigahertz, which is 1 GHz. So if you are getting a system for live production, you must watch out that your system processor is starting from at least 1.9 GHz for it to be able to give you something good and fast. For it to be able to give you something good and fast. And then if you're talking about the brand of laptop, there is no actually a specific brand of laptop. Any laptop with these list specifications can actually give you whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. Be it a Dell laptop, an HP laptop, Asus, whatever it is, as long as it can serve you, as long as it has this list specifications, then you can go with it. Then the next one, sorry guys, just hold on a bit. Okay, so the next one after the system is what we call the transmitter. Now, the transmitter is what helps you project or transmit whatever it is you are projecting to a larger monitor. So the transmitter is what helps you project work to a larger monitor, a larger screen. And there are various types of transmitter. We have the common ones we have is the HDMI, which is this one. This is the HDMI transmitter. Then we have the VGA, and then this one is SDI, then we have this AV. Now these four are like the most common transmitters that are mostly used in the media space. There are other ones. So in a situation whereby you are using more than one monitor, then you will need to introduce something they call a splitter. If you're using just one monitor, you will just need just your transmitting cable, be it the HDMI cable or the VGA cable, just for you to get a bigger screen output. But if you are using more than one monitor, you have so many screens that you want to share it to, then you will need to introduce what they call splitter. Now there are various types of splitter. There is the HDMI splitter, there is the VGA splitter, there is the XDI splitter, and there is the AV splitter. And they have various channels as much as 2 in 1, 4 in 1, 8 in 1, 16 in 1, as high as 32. Just to make sure that if you have 20 screens, they are all being able to see what you are transmitting or what you are displaying with the help of that splitter. Now the next one, this is the splitter. This is the HDMI splitter, and this is the VGA splitter. This is the AV splitter, and this is the SDI splitter. So if, for example, you are using this HDMI splitter, and this is the 8 in 1 splitter, this is your input, and these are your outputs. This 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 are your outputs. So if you can connect as much as 8 separate monitors to this splitter, then your inputs will come from your system. Then the 8 monitors will be able to show whatever it is you are transmitting to those monitors. The same thing goes for the VGA, the AV, and the SDI splitters. Now, the next one is very, very important because in our class, we have learned that a visual that has just video without audio is not actually telling the story. People can forgive a broadcast that is just being heard and not seen clearly. They can forgive that one. But something they are seeing and they are not hearing, it will almost be as if you have not done anything or you did not do anything. So this is the sound card. This is what this is a device that helps you get your sound into your live broadcast. This is a device that helps you get your sound into your live broadcast or your recording broadcast. And now these sound cards, they varies from quality to prices to sizes to effectiveness. So you can get a sound card for as low as $2, as low as $3, as low as $4, and you can also get a sound card for as high as $1,000. The they varies in how they work in performance. So this is very essential, for it is what helps your live broadcast receives audio or sound. And then the next one is the audio cable. Now, if you check the group, the last picture I sent was, or the last note I sent was for audio, and which I made mention of so many cables that are needed as a media person or for a media production. And I made mention of the XLR, the RGA, the TS, which is tip sleeve, the USB-C, the Ethernet, the TRS, which is tip ring sleeve, and then we have the 3.5 mm auxiliary, which is our, like our earpiece, our normal earpiece mouth. Right? If you hear something like 6 mm jack auxiliary, it is the same thing as this TRS or TS. So it's like having the 3.5 is our normal earpiece, which is the smaller one, while the 6 mm is same thing as the TRX, which is what some people also call a jack plug. So these are the necessary cables that you need to know or use for you to be able to collect sound from your mixer into your sound card. So you are collecting sound from your mixer, it is going into your sound card, then from your sound card, it is going into your system, which is your broadcast. So don't forget, the sound is coming from your mixer, and then from your mixer, it is going into your sound card. Then your sound card will now transmit it to your broadcast. So these cables are what you actually be able to use to achieve those process or that process. And then we have another one, the audio monitor. Now this helps you listen or monitor the sound that is coming out from your mixer and that is going into your live production. Now, if you fail to monitor this sound that is coming out and going into your live production, and at the end of the day, you will find out that the sound is not clear or the sound is not even coming out at all, there will be nothing you can do because you didn't monitor the sound from the very beginning. So this audio monitor is very essential for you to be able to know what is actually going into your live production. So you can use you can get headphone, you can get earpiece, you can get the monitor speakers, those small speakers that they usually use in the studio. You can get those ones just to make sure you are able to hear the sound that is entering your live production. And then the next one, if you can remember in our class, when we're talking about videography, we talked about stabilization and we talked about the tripod stand. Now, this is very essential for it is actually what helps your production or your video output look stable and firm while you are shooting. If you decide to use your hand to hold the camera, which in some cases you can actually use your hand, and if you're using a gimbal that helps stabilize your movement, even if you're moving, then you can use your hand and you can still achieve a stable or firm production. But if you're just using your hand only, your hand will eventually grow tired or weak, and then you begin to experience shaky movement or shaky footage. But with the use of tripod, you'll be able to gain a stable footage. So tripod is very, very, very much essential, and it also varies in terms of size, price, and what they do. They are tripod of like 20,000, 30,000. That's like $25 to $30 to $50, and as high as $500 to $1,000. So depending on what you are actually using it for or the size of your camera. So the tripod, and if you're using a phone, you can get a phone holder or a selfie stick that will just help you gain stability or firm footage. And then the next one, we have what we call the capture card. Now, this is actually a multi-purpose device. It captures video, it captures sound, it captures images, it captures windows, it captures systems and operations also. So it is like a must get for every media personnel just to make sure it is available when you want to make use of it. Now, the capture card basically is used by people that do not have what we call the video switcher or video mixer. Video mixer is like it's is being used to collect field from multiple cameras. So you can plug as I think the least video mixer we have, I think is about 4 channels, if I'm not mistaken. Just for you to so you'll be able to plug in 4 different cameras into the video mixer, and then you can then transport it or transmit it into your system for it to be sent to your live broadcast. Now, if you do not have the video mixer, which is very, very expensive, I think the least video mixer should be around 200,000 to 50,000 upward, down to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and so on. But in replacement of the video mixer, we now have what we call the video capture card. Now, this has the ability, for the single capture card, it has the ability to just help you get the field of one camera. They also have the dual capture card, which has 2 input ports, whereby it can help you collect 2 cameras. So this capture card is a very necessary gadget that you must get if you want to collect film from your camera into your system for you to be able to send it to your live broadcast. Then the next one is a USB hub. A USB hub. Now, this is a device that helps you expand your your USB ports on your system. Now, many systems may have as low as 2 ports or 3 ports, but it will actually not be enough if you're using your system for something large. So this USB hub is something that you should get that will help you expand your ports on your system, so you can attach so many things to it. As a matter of fact, there are so many systems these days that do not actually have Ethernet ports, but with the help of this USB hub, you'll be able to get that Ethernet port, and which is actually more advisable for live production because the connection or the signal it gives is actually stronger than the Wi-Fi or the wireless connection. So the Ethernet connection is actually advisable more. Then the next one is the internet. Now, as far as you are into live production, the internet is very much important. It is as a matter of fact the number one priority for live production. If your internet is bad, your production will be bad. There is no two ways about it. If your internet is not stable, you experience lag, your video will be breaking from time to time. You won't be able to get the full production. So your internet connection is the most prioritized settings in live production. And as time goes on or goes by, we are going to talk about more on internet connection. And then we have our video cameras. Now, you can make use of this if your production requires visuals. Now, you can as well run a production that does not require visual, maybe just the poster, and then what is essential will be the sound that the audience will be hearing. But if your production requires visual, then you need a camera. Now, for the camera, you can use so many cameras like the DSLR cameras. We have the Canon, we have the Sony, we have the Blackmagic, and so on and so forth. Then we have what we call the camcorder. This is a camcorder, this is a camcorder. This one and this one. Now this is like a low budget camera which you can get for as low as $150, $200 for this particular one. Then for this one, you can get for like $1,000, $1,500, which is like 1 million, 1.5 million to 2 million naira for these camcorders, depending on the quality, the size, and the structure of it. Now, some cameras carries just HDMI outputs. Some carries both HDMI and SDI, including the AV. Some carries just SDI. They are rare cameras that carries SDI. Now, they'll tell you that the best connection to connect your camera is actually SDI SDI connection. Why? The reason is because the SDI connection can go as far as 100 meters and your video will still be clear without cutting. And it has this there's this lock function it has. So there will be nothing like your cable is pulling out mistakenly. That is why mostly they use SDI for professional production. But if you're using HDMI, the quality for HDMI is better than the quality for SDI. But the reason why they use XDI mostly is because SDI can go as far as 200 meters without breaking. But to get an HDMI connection that can go as far as 100 meters, you have to get a very, very high fiber optical HDMI cable to be able to achieve that. So we have the camcorder, we have our cameras here like the DSLR, the mirrorless cameras and all. Then this also is a camcorder. It can also serve if you're just starting live production and you do not have the enough fundings or money to achieve higher gadgets. You can go with this one. And then we have, okay, that's all for the slide. So for the HDMI cables, we have uh, different types of HDMI cables. We have what we call the full HDMI. We have what we call the full HDMI cable. We have what we call the nano. Then we have what we call the mini. The full HDMI cable, the mini HDMI cable, and the nano HDMI cable. Now, there are some cameras that actually make use of those particular ports or sizes. If your camera does not use the full HDMI cable, if it uses the mini or the nano, then you will have to get the converter. The converter is what will help you convert your mini HDMI cable to your full HDMI cable. Now, it is actually rare to see a complete or a lengthy mini to full HDMI cable that can go as long as 30 meters to 50 meters. So you not being able to get something like that, you will then need to get the converter. And now HDMI cables, the conversion has limits. If you convert your HDMI cable at a very lengthy size, it will break. For example, you are converting a 50 or you are joining a 50 meters HDMI cable with a 20 meters HDMI cable. It will not actually give you a feel or it will not work because of the length. The converter does not have the power to actually work with those kind of lengths. But if you have something like a 5 meters cable with like a 20 meters cable or 15 meters cable, then it will actually work. The connection will still be strong. So we have the full HDMI, the mini, the full HDMI, the mini HDMI, and the nano HDMI converter. So when buying a camera, you must make sure that you observe these things. And it is actually advisable to get a camera that has a full HDMI output because most times this conversion usually spoils the camera ports, the camera HDMI ports, because of the weight of the longer cable will actually rest on the smaller cable. So when buying a camera, always observe that aspect. Then quickly let me talk about this connection. lastly, before we call off this class, now when when you're in a live production, there are basic settings that you must observe as far as the internet aspect is concerned. Now, there is something they call the upload speed and the download speed. The upload and the download. Now, the download is what is used to bring files from the internet into your system, while the upload is what is being used to send files from your system into the internet. Now, as a live producer, what you need more is the upload, because you are sending your live production into the internet, be it YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is you are sending your live production, you are uploading it to the internet. So what you need more is actually the the upload speed. And then how to check your upload speed? Let me see if I can share my screen on that one. Let me quickly share, see. I want to quickly share my screen. So guys, see, this now is currently how to check your speed test. Now, the first thing you must do after connecting your system is to check your speed test, just to make sure what you are looking for is the upload speed. Now, let me quickly check for it. Now, you just go to your browser and then you type speed test, and then you run the speed test. Now, you have something like this running. Now, you see, this is this is your download and this is your upload. Remember I said what you need as a live producer is this upload, not this download. If this your upload is not high, there are some certain resolutions or quality that you'll be able to stream. If it is very low at all, it is advisable not to stream at all, because you end up not having anything at the end of the day. So this is your download, and then this is your upload. Speed test. Once you type on speed test, you have something like this. And then another one is we have fast.com. This one too will also help you achieve or get your speed test. So you must make sure that you are looking forward to knowing. Now you just click on the more info. See, we already have our download, and then our upload is still counting. So now you see this is our upload. So this is actually the most essential thing that you must do when setting up your live production. You must check for your speed test. What you need is the upload. And now there are various should I call it, there's something they call bit rate. It is actually the amount of of data that is needed to upload your production. Now, if your bit rate does not tally or is higher than your upload speed, your video will not come out well. Now, the rule is this. The rule is this. Your bit rate must be half of your upload speed. Your bit rate must be half of your upload speed. So if your upload speed is 10 megabytes per second, which is Mbps, if your upload speed is 10 Mbps, your bit rate should be like 5,000 Mbps. Sorry, 5,000 kbps. Now, in conversion, 5,000 kbps is the same thing as 5 MB. So you are using 5,000 kilobytes per second. When you convert this to megabytes, it will be 5 megabytes per second. So on your encoder or on your software, you will see kbps, kilobyte per second. So you should know that it is the same thing as 5 MB per second. So if your upload speed is 10 Mbps, 10 megabytes per second, then you have to set your bitrate to be 5 Mbps, 5 megabytes per second, and in conversion, which is 5,000 kbps on your software. We are still going to look on that when we begin to talk about our different kinds of software, or how to operate the softwares. So as we have these rules for it, we also have the quality that you can be able to stream with this amount of upload speed. Now that 5 with that 5 Mbps or 5,000 kbps, you'll be able to stream a 1080 pixel, which is like the standard resolution. We have, I think, is it 4 or 5 different types of resolution? We have the 4K, we have the 6K actually, even as high as 8K. So it depends on your level of internet. So we have the 8K, we have the 6K, we have the 4K, and then we have the 1080p, which is what they call the high resolution. 1080 is higher resolution, HD. If you see some cameras have HD, some cameras have 4K. If you look on the body of a camera, you'll be able to know if the camera has the ability to produce 4K. or just uh, higher resolution. So that 5 Mbps has the ability to give you higher resolution, which is 1080p. Then we have the standard resolution, which is the 720. 720 is called standard resolution, which is SD. SD. And then we have the 420. We have the 420, then we have the 360, and then we have the 170. So these are various resolutions that you must observe. Various that you must observe. And then your internet connection or upload is what will actually determine the quality you are streaming. It is actually advisable, if your internet upload is low, just peacefully stream the standard resolution, which is the SD, which is 720. Your video may not be all clear, but it will be smooth. But if your upload is low and you are struggling, or you are forcing it to stream higher resolution, which is the HD, the 1080, then you end up having your production lagging or skipping. So it is better to just stream 720. As a matter of fact, 720 is not bad. There are many production out there that actually they actually did them with 720 just because of the internet. So as a live producer, you must take cognizance of these things. You must make sure you are able to know when to stream 720 or when to stream 1080. Now, if your camera is high, like 4K camera, and your upload speed is very high, then you can go ahead and stream, and your encoder, which is your software, is high also. Then you can go ahead and stream 4K. No problem, just carry on. As long as your camera streams 4K and your internet is high. But if your camera streams HD and you are putting it on 4K, I would say it is just a waste of time, because what the camera will actually give you is just a higher dimension. But the data that will be used to stream that production will be the cost of the 4K. So maybe YouTube or Facebook or whatever, they do not actually care if you're using a 4K camera. As long as your settings is on 4K, they will still charge you for the size of that 4K. But your video will not be having the 4K output, because your camera cannot actually produce the 4K. So you must make sure that you observe your upload speed. Now, from 3, which is from having 5 Mbps to 10 Mbps, you have to set your bitrate to at least 2500 kbps for a safer production. So if peradventure the network drops, it will still not come down to that level of your kbps in your encoder. That is why it is always advisable to put your kbps half of your upload speed. So then after that one, we have the one for 10 Mbps to 20 Mbps. You can stream on HT, which is 1080 to which is 1080 resolution. The first one, like 5 Mbps to 10 Mbps, you can stream safely 720, which is standard resolution. While from 10 Mbps to 20 Mbps upload speed, you can stream safely higher resolution, which is the 1080p. Then if you're having something like 20 Mbps upward, then you are free to stream 4K, because on YouTube, 4K actually requires at at least 13 Mbps upload speed. So you must make sure you observe all those things when you are in a live production. Now, these are the basic gadgets and basic knowledge for starting up a live production. We are going to be ending this class now because our time is almost up. We have just 2 minutes for this class. So I'll be sharing the slide and every other information that needs to be known into the platform. So guys, we are going to end the class now. So thank you all for joining this class. And then you get the notes in the platform. So guys, have a wonderful evening ahead. You can all exit the class now.